For most of my career, I've been thinking about the American ideal of justice. And it doesn't happen on its own. It takes advocates and legal professionals working together to protect vulnerable populations, breaking down silos and creating pathways to real change. Hi, I'm Darlene Lynch, Legal and Policy Director at Georgia Appleseed Center for Law and Justice. I've spent over 20 years advancing and supporting child protection efforts, human rights advocacy, and international policy work. From representing organizations at the United Nations to building statewide coalitions right here in Georgia, I've learned that change comes from strategic collaboration and from putting the people impacted by change, including children who are too often left out of these decisions, right at the center of every solution we create. Today, I want to share 3 key principles for advancing justice and expanding opportunity for children and other vulnerable populations through policy advocacy. Point 1, build bipartisan, cross-sector coalitions. When you bring together stakeholders across parties, across sectors, across the metro and rural divide that we have here in Georgia, you create a momentum that politicians respond to. At Georgia Appleseed, we've founded multiple coalitions focused on healthy housing, school climate, mental health. These aren't siloed efforts. We bring together competing interests at the same table, and we try to find that common ground. And that's how policy works. Point 2, lead with people-first solutions. Every policy proposal should answer this question. Does it actually help the people we are trying to serve? Too often, legal and policy work gets abstract. At Georgia Appleseed, we start by listening. Our work is informed by the voices of the children and the families and the communities we serve all across Georgia. We start by learning directly from those experiencing the impacts of outdated or inequitable or ineffective policies. Those conversations shape our priorities. And then we pair our legal and policy expertise with those insights to develop practical, people-centered solutions that address the root causes and the challenges we have in our state. Stories play a critical role in our advocacy. The stories of the people impacted help policymakers understand the human impact behind policy decisions and inspire action. And this is the Georgia Appleseed way. A continuous cycle of community connection, collaboration, and change. We listen, learn, and work alongside communities to develop policy priorities. We amplify their voices throughout our advocacy. And then once change is achieved, we return to those communities to educate, to support implementation, and to understand what challenges remain. That ongoing partnership ensures our work stays grounded in the needs of the people we serve and helps shape the next generation of solutions. Finally, develop long-term strategic partnership. Change doesn't happen in one legislative session as much as we wish it would. You need relationships built on trust over years. Treat everyone, every lawmaker, every partner, every advocate with respect and assume they too want what's best for Georgia. Even if you don't agree with everything, you will find a common ground to work on together. Train advocates, educate agency leaders, testify in communities, and become the expert that policymakers need to address issues. The bottom line, justice requires systems thinking, collaboration across sectors, parties, geography, and a relentless focus on the people you serve. If you care about protecting children, strengthening communities, and building fair systems, this work needs you.